Aloha! Welcome to Earth Angels Heaven Sent. My name is Earth Angel Jamica, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to introduce myself and get to know you guys a little bit better. Now, I'm not an expert with a PhD behind my name, but I have learned to transform tragic into magic within my own life by using the tools that the Creator, God, Great Spirit, whatever you choose to call it, universe, has given us to use. My biggest wish is to share and to help anybody that may be searching for their own inner knowing, for their own inner peace, just as I was at one time. Now, I'm not an expert in your life. You are. But what I am an expert in is energy, frequency, and how to shift those things. How did I become an expert in that? My own life. I've lived it. I've lived my own life. I have my own experience. I lived in a world of fear, literally from the day I was born. I was born into a world of fear. And this was done with love, guys. This wasn't done with malice intent. It was done with love. I was born with the expectation from the very time I was born that my value was based on how I made other people feel. And guys, I'm not the only one that was raised like this or with that belief system. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. And I'm not saying anything bad towards anybody. I'm just pointing out the facts of the truth. From the time I was born, I was raised that my value depended on outside sources. My value depended on how I made other people feel. If I was a good daughter, my mother would be happy. If I was a good daughter, my father would be happy. If I was a good granddaughter, my grandmother would be happy. If I was a good sister, my brother would be happy. If I grew up to be a good wife, my husband would be happy. If I grew up to be a good mother, my children would be happy. So you see, by lovingly guiding me, I was very much guided though into believing that my value was based on everybody else around me, how I made them feel. So there's two really big problems with that, guys. One, every single person expects something different from us. So how could we ever live up to everybody's expectations and make everybody happy? It's absolutely impossible. We can't do it, you guys. We cannot do it. There's no possible way. Two, we lose ourselves. We lose who we are in that. What makes us happy? Who are we? What is it that makes our very soul happy? What is it that inner self wants and needs? We lose that. We begin to lose from the very beginning our own intuition, our own inner knowing, our connection to our very selves, just by the expectations that are put upon us from everybody else. So for me, this is what it looked like when I disconnected from my own inner self and what my intuition and my inner knowing told me to do, and was listening to the expectations of what everybody else around me wanted. For me, it was frustrated, run around, take care of the kids, take care of the husband, take care of the house, work an outside job on top of it because we know we have to be super mom, and completely overloaded because I am empath and I am going to bring on all of that energy, and I should be able to handle all of these feelings that I'm having, but I'm exhausted and I don't know what to do and how to handle it. So I think I'm going to go have a drink. Oh, that drink disconnects. Oh, I feel better. I feel relaxed. How about, I think I'm going to go have something to eat. You know, maybe that donut. That donut really is going to help me unwind right now because I can't go have that drink, but I can have that donut right now because I'm stressed out and I can't make both of my kids happy. Only one of them is happy and I just don't know how to handle this situation. So I'm going to find my comfort zone. So I would go find outside sources to make me happy because that's what I was taught, right? Those outside sources is where all of my happiness depended upon. So for me, that became a very vicious cycle of constantly searching for destructive things on the outside to numb me out, to feel better, to make me happy in that moment. And then in the moment I would be happy or feeling better, because I would be disconnected completely, not only from my inner self, but from everybody else, right? Just completely disconnected. And then I would feel bad, and the guilt, and the not understanding, and the disconnect, and then beat myself up. And I would be in that triangle of looking for the outside sources and not understanding, why are these not making me happy? Why can I not find that happiness? And then it became, well, it must be a spiritual immalady. It must be because you're not connected to God, to the Creator. It's got to be that, right? It's got to be. So the search for that became part of the looking for the outside sources, right? I started searching for the outside religious organizations to give me the answers. What is it that I'm searching for? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And I'm not here to bash or take away from anybody's beliefs. I'm only sharing my experience. For me, that looked like, again, well, if you're doing this right and you're doing that right, then you'll be in good standings and you'll be happy, and God will be happy with you and you'll find that happiness. It was always teaching me to look outside of myself everywhere I searched. And for me, that didn't work. I didn't find the happiness. I would find a glimpse of happiness for a moment, a week, a month, a day, a second, but then it would quickly go away. It would never resonate truly with my heart, my knowing to my core that that was the truth. It might intellectually appear that it should from everything I've been taught. Well, that would make sense that it should be that way, but it didn't resonate with my heart. And so I found myself lost, depressed, sad, lonely, felt very unloved, felt unlovable, didn't understand. And for me, that turned into a very desperate, just ready to go away period. I was ready to exit. I couldn't take it anymore. None of it made sense to me anymore. Looking at this outside was so much confusion. So I was reminded by a dear friend of a proverb from the Native American culture, and I don't know exactly where it comes from, and it doesn't matter where. It's the message behind it. And that was that religion was for people who were afraid to go to hell, and spirituality was for people who have been in hell and don't want to go back. And you guys, that resonated with me because I was living my entire life in hell. I was on hell on earth. I was living in hell. I was so unhappy, even in the outside world, at those glimpses of times that I appeared to be happy. My soul was sick. It was sick because I was denying to my very core who I was, because the outside sources made me feel like who I wasn't right, wasn't good enough, wasn't lovable. I had to be what everybody else's expectations were, but I couldn't, because that's not who I was at my core. None of us are. We can only be who we are. So for me, that looked like surrender. I actually did hit my knees that day after hearing that phrase. I went and I hit my knees, and I, to my very heart, cried out. I cried out, and I even said, Creator, Source, God, Buddha, Allah, whatever your name is. I don't know, Jehovah. I don't know what your name is. I know there's only one creator. There can only be one main creator, and you know who you are. I don't know. You do. And I ask, please, please guide me. Please help me. I'm done. I surrender. I give. And you guys, that's when the magic happened. Magic literally happened in my life in that moment. I felt the energy of whatever you want to call it, Great Spirit, Creator, God. I felt that energy wrap around me and hold me and love me. I knew in that moment it was okay. I heard the words, I have you, my child. You're home. It's okay. And from that moment on, my life has changed. That need to find the outside sources slowly began to fade away. Did it happen overnight? No. Gosh, I wish I could say that it was a magic wand and it just instantly, I'm sitting here today, you guys. But that was over 6 years ago that I surrendered. And I'm sitting here today with you guys. And in that 6 years, I've walked through some incredible things. And I've had to do the work. I've had to do work to transform the tragic into magic. But I've done that work by using the tools that the Creator, the Great Spirit gives us. We are able to connect to that energy, to that source. It's available for all of us. None of the work that I do, that you see others doing this light work, is special. None of us are special in that sense. We are all special because we're unique in our own very unique ways. But we all have the exact same abilities to be unique with, you guys. All of us. So for me, it looked like being very afraid of speaking to those who have crossed over, talking to our angels, connecting with energy. I was raised that was taboo and scary. But knowing today what I know, it's energy. It's a gift. It's a gift when we learn the truth of it and how to use it. And it's taken me one day at a time, one step at a time. I've walked through physical health issues. I've walked through spiritual health issues. I have had to embrace and go deep and cleanse and release and allow and surrender. Mostly surrender. And learn and be open. And so today, my wish is to be a bright light, to be that inner love, that inner peace, to honor and love that inner person. Because that's where I found my happiness. That's where it's at. And if I can help anybody out there, anybody in even the slightest little way, find their own empowerment, their own personal light, their own knowing, their inner source, their inner resources, then I am ecstatic. I have done what I've come here to do, because I've taken care of this with me, and it's a daily basis, and I keep working, and it's never going to end. It's a layers and layers and layers of work, and more is always revealed. And that's the beauty of it, right? How boring would it be if we got there and we're done? But guys, you gotta start. You just gotta start one day at a time. One day at a time, one thing at a time. And being here, sharing your love and light with us in this space, place, and time, I'm so grateful and I'm so honored for that. Because since that day that I surrendered and I hit my knees, every single day since then, one thing that has always been in my prayers is I have asked that power that grabbed and held me tight and lets me know everything's okay, that power that whispers in my ear and guides me on a daily basis, I've asked that power every day to take me to the places I need to go, to let me hear the things I need to hear, to let me see the things I need to see, and most of all, to let me stay out of the way and stay open. I've asked to bring love and light anywhere that I possibly can for anybody that might be suffering in that same way. And that's the gift that I've received back from Creator, is this place, space, and time. This channel, this page, this energy that we all get to share together with one another. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming and sharing your love and light with us. And I'm sending much love, light, and blessings to you. Know that you do have the power within you to create, to change, to do whatever you want with your life. You get to decide what your expectations are of your life, not what everybody else expects for your expectations to be. Sending love and light to you all. Aloha.